Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Here's our post-game reaction show to the Raiders' 26-20 win over the Minnesota Vikings. I don't care if it's preseason. I got a commitment to excellence. I know y'all do too. And if you got that commitment to excellence, spam Raiders right now in the chat because I want to see how my players do. I want to see how these guys are going out and performing. If you're trying to perform better, get started with Panda Supps. They got an awesome brand new product out there. It's their brand new testosterone pills, man. Use code TEST. That's going to get you 25% off at pandasupps.com. Major shout out to Panda Supps for sponsoring today's show. So what you're going to see here is we're going to go through some Raiders grades, some instant reactions. We're going to talk about the offense, the defense, the Raiders MVP today, and we're going to answer some questions from the nation. Well, let's go to Terrence Sells, Raider Nation, for life from Farmington, New Mexico. Shout out your city down in the comments. Terrence, thank you, dude, for supporting the show. And I appreciate you, the fact that you got some of your questions in here. So let's look at some of the leaders on the Raiders board. Nick Mullens, 7 of 9, 94 yards and a touchdown. I should also mention Jarret Stidham got the start today. He was 10 of 15, 68 yards. He had a rushing touchdown. Brent Brown, 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. I thought Austin Walter, though, looked really damn good at 7 carries, 30 yards. The leading receiver, DJ Turner, 3 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Jack Bishop, winners and losers, I want to hear it. I'm probably going to do a video a little bit later on in the week and go into extra depth. I'll say I actually think the biggest winner from today's game was DJ Turner. He looked good in special teams. He looked great on that touchdown catch. He picked up a clutch first down. They used him in a lot of different areas. I'll say the player that probably took the biggest step back for me, I'm going to throw out Alex Leatherwood. Thayer Munford got the start at right tackle. Leatherwood didn't play in the first quarter. He didn't play in the second quarter. He started the third quarter. If you're starting in the third quarter of a preseason game, I'm sorry. It's not great. I'll also say I did not think that Chris Jones played all that well either. Gave up a bad 4th and 5, and they gave up a touchdown. It's never a good sign. Let's go to the greatness of the Raiders. Give defensive tackle a D+. You're right. The defensive tackle group here was bad, especially in that second quarter. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I'm going to say you probably gave up close to 70 rushing yards in that second quarter. Why? It was just wide open running lane after wide open running lane after wide open running lane. And, yeah, Jonathan Hankins didn't play. Bilal Nichols didn't play. Neil Farrel, Matthew Buttler, they didn't play until the third and the fourth quarter. So, again, very interesting to look at. But the top defensive tackles out there for the Raiders today, Vernon Buttler, Andrew Billings, Tyler Lancaster, and Kyle Pecco. Those were the 4 defensive tackles that you saw the most today. And I'm sorry, they were not good. They did not play well. It's just another reason why I'm going to come up here and say, if you go into the regular season with these defensive tackles, you're kidding yourself. Go out, get an Ndamukong Suh. Go out, get a Linval Joseph. Go out, get a Sheldon Richardson. You need to bolster this defensive tackle room because I'm sorry, it's one of the worst in the NFL. Super chat time coming in from Giovanni B. Just one, baby. Again, I don't care if it's a preseason. I'm out every single day to win. Real life, YouTube, regular season games, preseason games, I'm trying to win. Real talk, though. The defensive tackle, right tackles need reinforcements. We're in trouble. I actually didn't think that Thayer Munford played all that bad. I actually thought Lester Cotton, Thayer Munford were pretty solid on the right side of the offensive line to start. Yeah, you look at some of those other players as it went on and on, wasn't great. But if you're telling me right now that if it's Thayer Munford and Alex Leatherwood as your top 2 right tackles, not going to feel very good about that. So the Raiders Report is built on interaction. The Raiders Report is built on the best damn fans in all sports. And I want you to fill in the blank right now. The Raiders MVP versus the Vikings was, who do you think it was? For me, I'm probably going to go, well, you know what? I'll give you my answer after this ad break. My MVP in today's game for the Raiders was DJ Turner. I love the spark he brought. 3 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. You could see how athletic he was. You could see the burst that he had. Yeah, he's a little bit undersized, but if you could use him in a lot of different areas of that offense, I love it. But it's not only that, it's a special teams value. You had a really good punt return today, which put the Raiders in a good field position. If I'm sitting here and I'm breaking down whether the Raiders want to keep 7 receivers or if I'm trying to look at those final 53 guys on that roster, DJ Turner was impressive today, and for that reason, I'm going to name him my MVP. Let's go to Christopher Leonard. Why no Amir sighting? I don't know. Amir Abdullah did not play today. I know a few times during the show I was like, oh, yo, Amir looks good. It was actually Austin Walter. So Walter was the new back, but the only three running backs that did not play today, Josh Jacobs, Amir Abdullah, and Brandon Bolden. I think that tells a lot because Jacobs not playing and Bolden not playing. Those guys are locks to make the team. There was a report that came out earlier in the week that said that Amir Abdullah could potentially play a James White role. James White was one of the most heavily used players in those Patriot offenses when they made some deep Super Bowl runs. If Abdullah's actually in that regard, I'll tell you what, Zamir White got some run today, but Kenyon Drake should be put on notice. I talked about it a few times, but I think that's why you didn't see Amir Abdullah. Let's go to Matty7088. What up? Is Waller 100% healthy for the season opener against the Chargers? I don't have that answer. I'm going to hope he is. From the reports that we have gathered, it sounds like it is a minor hamstring injury, but anytime I hear hamstring, I do get nervous. I will admit, and I've already gotten a little bit of shit on Twitter from this, I didn't like that Waller didn't show up today's game. I get he wants to support his girlfriend going to the Las Vegas Aces game. I get that Mark Davis wanted to also go to the Las Vegas Aces game. It's a WNBA team, which he also owns. And maybe I'm old school for thinking this. Your job is to be a Raider. Your job is to be on the sideline. Your job is to be supporting your players. So even though you weren't going to play today, even though you're nursing a hamstring injury, I think it's a bad look that you're not on the sideline during a preseason game. For that reason, not really happy with Waller right now. But hey, that's me being real with y'all right now. All right, y'all. So again, today's show presented by Panda Sups. Use code TEST to get 25% off at pandasups.com. They just launched their brand new testosterone booster. A lot of times people are like, well, why would you take this? I think personally, if you are trying to get into really good shape, for people who are, I'll say, over the age of 30, do you ever have a day and you're like, man, I wish I was 20 again? You take some test boosters, you're going to feel 20 years old again. It's going to help with your muscle growth. It's going to help with your sexual activity. Like, it's just going to get you, it's going to get the momentum going. Let's just put it like that. So scan that QR code right there. It's going to drop you right onto the test booster where you can get 25% off at pandasups.com, code TEST. But when you're in the workout, you want to take advantage of however long you're in there, right? Working out and building muscle is about blood flow. It's just a fact. And test boosters are going to help you get more blood flow, whether it's in your legs, your arms, and your whatever we got, man. We got you covered. It's pandasups.com, 25% off. Just use code TEST. Let's go to Brian Howe. DeMarcus Robinson or DJ Turner for today? DJ Turner was better today. I still believe that overall DeMarcus Robinson is probably a better receiver. However, though, and this is kind of one of the arguments I've been making, it looks like Tyron Johnson, T-Billy, is above DeMarcus Robinson. And it looks like I got to update my depth chart because Keelan Cole, Matt Collins, those are your top guys. And actually, Matt Collins came out of the game earlier than Keelan Cole did. So maybe the Raiders view their top receivers as Davante Adams, Keelan Cole, Matt Collins, Hunter Renfrow. And then it looks like it's Tyron Johnson. If DeMarcus Robinson is battling it out with DJ Turner, they might give it to the guy who adds a lot more special teams value, which the guy that offers more special teams value is DJ Turner. And sure, I like Hunter Renfrow as a punt returner, but the fact that he just got his brand new contract, it makes me nervous, and I don't know if I want to see Hunter out in those situations. Let's go to Adam Sweeney. You're next up here on the Raiders Report, my guy. Who played better, our quarterback group or running backs? I'm going to say they played the same. Some people are going to look at Jarret Stidham today and say, all right, he went 10 for 15, 68 yards. But he missed like 2 or 3 throws tonight. That should have been, like his one throw was wide left to Keelan Cole, should have been a touchdown. On his touchdown run, if you go back and you watch that play, he had 3 guys open. He had an opportunity to hit, I forget who it was on the left side. He had an opportunity to hit the running back underneath, and then he had an opportunity to hit Keelan Cole. Like, he had 3 opportunities to hit a receiver, and I just think he wasn't confident enough in his arm ability where he decided to tuck it and run. For that, not a great look. Now, if you guys want nonstop coverage of the silver and black, I'm talking free videos every day. I go live every single Tuesday. I go live for every single preseason, regular season game. I got you covered. If you're a diehard fan just looking for that extra content, you want to know more about the Raiders and all your buddies, your family members, you hit that subscribe button. It's free. And if you don't learn more about the Raiders in 1 week, unsubscribe. That's what I tell people. Because here's the thing, you're going to learn a lot more. Let's go to Alexander M. Mitch, why do you think everyone is counting out the Raiders to make the playoffs in the media? It's BS. I think it's because they just value the other teams in the AFC West. Like Russell Wilson, good quarterback. He gets added to the Broncos. The Chargers, I get the fact that they didn't make it last year, but Justin Herbert's getting ready to enter year 3. Nobody's thrown more touchdown passes in their entire career in the first 2 seasons than Herbert. Chargers got a lot better. So if a team thinks that Derek Carr, which I would rank him right now as the last quarterback in the AFC West, that's a lot of times what the media goes by. So I'm okay being the underdog. I like being the underdog. I'm honestly okay with it. Let's go to Jerry. What up, man? Raiders better learn to tackle and stop playing prevent defense. I actually don't think they played prevent defense a single time today, but there were some pretty bad missed tackles from the Raiders. There's no doubt about that. But, like, from a starting defensive standpoint, I don't really have too many bad takeaways, minus the defensive tackle room just kind of getting beat up here a little bit. So, speaking of defense, what is your one word to describe the Raiders' defense today versus Minnesota? When you think about the entire game from top to bottom, how would you describe the Raiders' defense in one word? Because, personally, for me, my one word would be defensive tackle. And I know it's not exactly one word, maybe DT, but you need to add an extra DT in free agency, whether that be Ndamukong, Linval, Sheldon. Those are the top DTs I see. I know a lot of y'all want to go out and get Darius Philon, but that does make me nervous because the injury he had, plus on top that he's been bad everywhere else that Gus Bradley hasn't been. So I want to see more depth at DT. That's my one-word reaction. Let's go to Knight. What up, my guy? At least the Aces got the number 1 seed. Makes me less mad about Waller not being there. Yeah, the Aces got the number 1 seed. That's great. But again, if your job, imagine you saying that you're not going to come to work tomorrow because you're going to go to your girlfriend's work. And I get that's not exactly apples to apples, oranges to oranges. But if I'm Darren Waller and I want a contract extension, if I'm Darren Waller and I'm trying to prove to not only the organization, but also the fan base that I deserve to be the highest paid tight end in the league, you show up. And that's what it comes down to me. You show up every single day. You're on the sidelines with your guys, cheering on your team. I'm all for supporting my wife. I'm all for supporting my girlfriend, whoever it is. But my job on that day specifically is to support the Raiders. I don't think it's a good look, and I'm going to stand by that take. Let's go to Kyle. Should we move Kenyon Drake? What could we get for him? I posted this on Twitter that I believe right now the most likely player to get traded on the Raiders is Kenyon Drake. I would say right now if you can get a 5th, take it in a heartbeat. If I was an NFL team, I would offer a 6th rounder for him. You can't really cut him because if you cut Kenyon, you're actually going to eat $8 million in dead cap space this season. If you trade him, though, you save $2.75 million this year. You only eat $1.5 million, but you will eat $4.4 million in dead money next off season. All right, since we're talking about Drake, he's on the offensive side of the football. Let's go back to school here, y'all. Rate the Raiders' offense against the Vikings and scale it from 0 to 100. 0, terrible game. 100 was the best game they could have possibly played. There was definitely some opportunities that they could have put more points on the board. I want to see more efficient red zone. They also got lucky on one of their touchdown drives because Minnesota was like a 4th and 3. It was an illegal formation. They were able to stay out in the field. They went down the field. They scored a touchdown. I'm going to give the Raiders overall offense probably like a 70 grade, but it's because I expect a little bit more out of them. Let's go to Darian Schofield, Realtor. Appreciate you, bro. Who was worse, Leatherwood or Farrell? Clearly didn't play, so Leatherwood. I don't know. Cleveland Farrell didn't play today. Unless you're trying to say Neil Farrel Jr., but Farrell played a lot later. But Cleveland Farrell did not play tonight. Let's go to Jacob Snubs. What do you think of Dylan Parham? You know, I really wasn't overly impressed by him today. But again, like, he's a rookie. He's learning it still. He was good. I don't think he was bad. But here's the issue. The way that I want to be able to analyze offensive linemen is when I get done with these games, I like to go back and I like to watch the tape because when you watch it live, your concentration's on the quarterback, the running back, the wide receivers, a lot of other moving parts. When I watch my offensive lineman, I got to go back and I'll watch the tape on those guys. Did they miss a block? Did they miss a blitz? How was their footwork? So can I give you an honest answer now? No. But from a surface level standpoint, I don't think Parham was bad, but I also don't think he was great either. All right, y'all, if you want to get your questions on the show and maybe they weren't featured, you can always hit me up on IG. You can hit me on Twitter as well. You can scan that QR code to get my Twitter account. If you want to hit me up on Instagram, slide in those DMs, y'all, at Mitchell Renz 365. You can do that by looking me up on Instagram, or get out your camera. You scan either of those two QR codes, and I'll keep you guys up to date. News, rumors, everything that happens all season long. But also, if you want to see what's going on in my daily life, I got you covered. All right, let's go to Dan R310. Appreciate the super chat, my dog. How do you feel about Austin Walter so far? They look good. I mean, hell, there was a point where I saw 32 out on the field. And this is me being real with y'all, and I was like, shit, Amir Abdullah looks good. And I was like, oh, shit, that's not Amir Abdullah. That's also Austin Walter. I thought he looked quick. I thought he ran the ball pretty effectively. The fact that Britton Brown fumbled tonight in a pretty costly situation, if I'm being real with y'all, I thought Austin Walter, from the eye test and eye test alone, looked better than Britton Brown. Me being real. Austin Walter looked better than Britton Brown. Let's go to KC Turtle 41. What's your take on Tyree Gillespie now that he's in his second year? I still want to see a little bit more out of him. He was wearing a club today on his left arm, I believe, is from what I remember. Like, he had a whole cast on his arm. Like, so there was 0% chance he's going to one-hand the ball with his left arm. But he's a hard-hitting guy. He does still have some versatility. And I liked Gillespie when he first came out of Missouri because of some of the tape he had against guys like Henry Ruggs. I thought he looked really good. But he can cover. He can play. But Roderick Teamer's going to give him a run for his money because I thought Teamer played pretty well tonight. Let's go to Jarrett Watson. What up, Mitch? Love the show. If you guys also love the show, seriously, hit that sub button. Turn on those noties. That way you never miss a show. So appreciate everyone tuning in. What you guys are going to get tomorrow on the Raiders Report is I'm going to do an overreaction show where I just give some hot takes on today's preseason game. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button right now.